Ameera, welcome. So glad to see you again. I'm excited to talk to you about this journey to your oversoul. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Aloha, Loren. Always good to be with you and collaborate and find out all the amazing things that we can discover together.
As we get started, I want to tell everyone that you are a multidimensional teacher and a healer. You primarily work on the return for the new earth, Atlantis rising, and you recall yourself as a mer being. You say you an incarnated mer being, and that is just magical. And your story about how that works is in our archives on Quantum Conversations. But we're talking today about a journey to our light body and our oversoul. Would
Yes.
you say that this is the next phase as humans?
I would say that we've always had this phase available to us, but most of my clients, most of my students know they have an oversoul. They've heard that term, and they've actually heard the term light body as well. But they aren't exactly sure what that is or how to access it. So if we're talking about a next phase, we're talking about taking our aura, our sacred space, our auric field, which I've done a lot of talks and a lot of information on your show about, and connecting that to our light body. And the light body is actually the bridge to our oversoul. So the next question might be, what the heck is an oversoul? What does that mean? So the oversoul, your oversoul is it's kind of like a sun. I like to use the analogy of a sun. It holds the totality of all aspects of your soul. Okay, so there is an aspect of your oversoul that shows up here on earth as you, as Loren. But because you are a multidimensional person, being, you actually exist on many planes of reality and lines of time simultaneously, right? It's like we hear this, we think, okay, kind of makes sense, but how does that really work? Like, how do I really take my 3D brain and like figure out how that happens? So we know we're multidimensional beings. Most of us know, at least on one level, that we exist on multiple planes of reality, and the one we are most aware of is this reality right here. And there's good reason for that. Because if we were aware of these hundreds, thousands, millions of other parts of our soul, I mean, we go a little crazy, right? We couldn't do our job in this body. And so it's kind of a cross between a protective mechanism for our soul, for this being, for this essence. It allows us to really tune into our mission in this lifetime, our mission, our soul's mission in this reality, to anchor into our human body without having to pay attention to all these other aspects of our being that exist simultaneously. However, once we start doing, shamanic work, having our spiritual awakenings, maybe you do a past life regression into another dimension, maybe you're meditating, maybe spontaneously you somehow become aware of yourself, one of these other aspects of you that are existing just as tangibly as you exist here and now. And once that started to happen, for me, it happened during a past life regression. I went into the mer world and became a mer being. That's how I had the realization that my soul, my oversoul, was of the mer lineage. And once I tapped in and recognized that and went, okay, I'm this being here, Ameera, but I'm also this being here in the water, Ameera. Who else am I? What else is out there that's available for me? And so the integration and the knowing ourselves on multidimensional realities takes a lot of, I'm going to say, spiritual responsibility, because my belief is that folks who are maybe schizophrenic and have some mental things, they're accessing all these different dimensions at once. They're not making anything up. It's really true for them. But the problem is they can't stay contained in the safety of this container while they're accessing and realizing all these other versions of themselves that exist as well. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. And so, as we are remembering aspects of ourself and integrating that, wow, what do we do with that?
Well, we really only need to realize and integrate the ones that are important to our mission here. The one that I realized in the first place, the version of me of Mira as Myrrh, is the aspect of my soul that carried the wisdom, the living library of the Mer world. That was the version of me that was most important for me to come in contact with, recognizing that I'm still me on this 3D earth plane. And that version of me there gets to share her wisdom, her knowledge, her courage, her memories, but I still get to retain autonomy and sovereignty and free will over this being here. That's one of the greatest gifts that we have as multidimensional beings is we do have a choice. You do not have to accept or merge with any version of yourself or any other being that you do not wish to. And we should use our discernment.
Ah, so wow. Okay, this has me going into like karmic debt, like if
Yeah.
a past life. So then if we don't wish to be a part of that, where does that come into play? Do we still have that karmic debt to clean up, or do we just not deal with it?
Do you mean karmic debt from other lifetimes?
Yes, that actually appear in this life
You
through
know,
a past.
we always have a choice
Okay.
to take care of that karmic debt or
And it's
to
good.
not.
It's good.
My opinion is you should be brave and lean into it, but I don't get to choose that for my clients or anybody else. Nobody gets that to
Okay.
choose that for you or for me.
Good. So it's our free will.
Correct.
What you're saying is it's a good idea to clean up the karmic debt.
It's a good idea, and that's actually one of the things that I specialize is in helping people move from their dharma into or their karma into their dharma, which become your acts of service. And you know, there are many ways that we can clean up our karma. It can be done in other realms and realities and can be done right here in the here and now as well. For instance, you know, I've lived 10 years on the beautiful island of Kauai, and I'm not sure I told you this, but last fall I moved back to the Pacific Port Northwest to my birth family because I got the strong call of my soul to come back here and be present with my parents who are aging, with my children, my grandchildren, to rejoin my family unit and clear up and heal and resolve any of the karmic issues happening, especially with my parents who aren't going to be around forever, right? So I made this decision that I got to go back and be right in the thick of it because I'm not trying to come back and do this in another life, Loren.
Something about that just opens my heart that I just want to cry with you.
Oh, it's been a lot.
Yeah. And so let's just feel into the responsibility that you took there.
Yeah,
Um, there's something about like, we know we need to be a little selfish so we can go on these journeys and find these
right.
aspects of ourselves. But then and I'm going through this too. And I want to say I had a personal session with you, and it absolutely um, helped me get through an important part of my life. And right now, this is still something that's related to that. But now again, it's this responsibility of cleaning up
Yes.
karma. It
I
is.
call it in Hawaii, we call it Ohana Kuleana, which is Kuleana's responsibility to family. And I felt the call to come take care of my Ohana responsibilities on the earth plane, kind of like taking this pause in all the things I was doing on Kauai, bringing them back to the mainland, and really being present with my birth family for everything, well, quite frankly, that we had to heal once I ran away to Kauai.
Uh-huh.
Which needed to happen at that time, needed to happen for my soul, for my work, for my duty to the collective, my karma to the collective. We have many versions of karma and karmic contracts. My karma slash dharma to the collective is this work that I do, but then we also have karma dharma to our family unit and to different relationships and different aspects. So I started to really look into, what is the best way that I can serve? And when you serve your karmic contracts and transform them into dharma, then automatically not only do you free yourself, but you free everybody associated with those contracts. And not everybody can do that in person. Many of us have parents or loved ones who passed over and it's just not possible. That doesn't mean you can't do it while you're in this lifetime. It just means you have to do it on another level. You have to go into the ethers with maybe a regressionist, a soul progressionist, someone like myself, and make contact with your loved ones on another plane to work those things out.
Well, good for you. And I'm certain after 10 years in Hawaii, coming back to the mainland, there must have been just a little reverse culture shock.
There was, I've been coming back and forth for 3 times a year for all those years. But yeah, I'm wearing a lot more clothes than I used to. I'm wearing shoes all the time. But the journey of seeing how happy my mother was for me to return, like the joy in her of to have me back and I'm living in their house, like she tells me all the time, how grateful she is that I'm here and how much she loves me. So when you have those moments, and I get to hug my grandchildren. So it's those moments that just make it all okay.
I love that. No wonder I feel that open heart love. And there's no judgment, too. One thing I want to say that I've learned is that there's no right way or wrong way to live. And even in my own family, we're doing things a little differently, too. And actually, I'm in Central America and they do things differently, where
Hmm.
in the States, we tend to, as it's changing, but there's a program that's like you're 18 or you're 21, get
Yeah,
parents'
get
house.
out, go to college, get a job. Yeah.
But
And the Hawaiian culture is very much family oriented also, where generations live together and support each other.
and I think that is something that as those who are not living that way, if we open up to it and remove the judgment. For
Yeah.
example, I know people who are 45 living with parents, and a part of me years ago would have said, "Oh, come on." But now I'm like, "No, you are free to do whatever you want because that is a family unit, and however people want to show up, that family unit is really important. I've learned that
Yeah.
in Latin America. It's very important. And I think that, we're missing it. But with what you're doing in your own family, you're restoring that connection. So
Yeah.
do you think that this was the way it was in Atlantis?
I do. And I call some of us like myself the linchpin. So we are the one pinning the family together and healing the karma and doing all the work. Most of my family doesn't know I'm doing it. They have no idea. Your family probably has no idea of the work that you're doing, collectively. We are the ones who are awake and aware, and we are connected to our oversoul. We are connected to that greater part of us that sends these key codes, these messages that says, now it's time to transition into this. Now it's time to have this remembrance. Now it's time to unlock. And we'll talk a little bit more about the keys and codes that come through your light body from your oversoul. But it's like this realization of this is what next. And yes, I do believe in Atlantis and Lemuria and the Mer world. Family units were not They were not autonomous. They did not live separately. It was not this like you're of age now, go out on your own. It was this community and communion of support that just kept adding people.
Hmm.
You just added and you kept joining these other circles of family and the sense of community, the sense of belonging, which I think is the most important thing to all humans. We all want to belong, right? When you don't feel like you belong, that's the isolation, that's the loneliness, that's the despair. When you feel like you belong to a group or a community, there is purpose and there is reason to keep going on and there's reason to do your best.
I love that. I really do. All right. Thank you. All right. So, you had mentioned the ascension keys and codes.
Yes.
And the title of our show says that they're coming from our star family,
Indeed.
Oversoul. Can you talk a little bit about this?
So some of you may resonate, a star family is basically, so we're all from somewhere else. None of us are from this planet, and we know that we're not from here because humans are the only species that need special food, special clothing, and special housing to exist here. Like we have to have special houses and things on our body because we are not native to this planet. Your star family is the collective group from which your soul descended. You might think you're Pleiadian. You might feel like you're Syrian. You may feel like you're from the fairy realm. You may feel like you're Mer. But your star family, the family that came from the stars, and the Mer people came through the Stargate of Mintaka with the family of Mu. Okay, they are always in communication with us, even though some of them, we may have some on this earth plane that we share, that we communicate, that we know or don't know, but your star family is there constantly in communication with you. And during certain specific points of awakening, you have what's called, they send various keys and codes. We're all on time locks. And you know your time lock is open because suddenly you'll have a realization about something from nowhere. You'll read it in a book, you'll hear it in a song, be in meditation and you'll be like, oh, this is what's happening. It means that that time lock that's been stored in your cells and DNA, the proper coding has come in. It's a match. It fits together. That time lock opens, and suddenly you're evolving or ascending in some kind of new way. Suddenly you're sent on a new soul assignment. Suddenly you have a realization of someone you need to contact. The living library that exists within your cells and DNAs becomes activated. And these are the power points in our lives that are allowing us to evolve and ascend. And those come from our star family.
So, how do we connect and feel our star families?
So that some of you may know who your star families are. Again, you may realize you're from the Pleiades or you're Mintonkan. Many folks out there may have no idea. And even if you really have no idea, but maybe you have like a resonance with a certain realm or a certain planet or a certain group of beings, the first thing you want to go to is your own intuition and trust that that's probably true. You might have more than one lineage. You might feel like you are a hybrid of some sort. But even if you really like, you just really have no idea, but you know you love gardens and you know you love flowers and the earth and you know you see the fairies, you feel them out there, you might look to that intuitively as the realm of your star family, the belonging, the community from whence you came. And how do you connect to that? Well, first, it's just the admitting it to yourself. It's true. You're not making it up. When I recognized myself as Mer and starting exploring myself in Merlantis and Atlantis, like that was a big leap for me. That was a big leap of faith because I didn't think mermaids were true when I first found that. I didn't know they were a real thing. And yet, the calling in my soul, the discussion that was happening in my soul between me and the mer people was so palpable, I couldn't deny it. And when we stop denying our own truth, when we lean into the supernatural, when we lean into the idea that we are multidimensional beings, we are cosmic super beings, and we are greater than these gorgeous 3D bodies, that we show up in, that we are from other realms in reality. That's when the coding, the light codes, the star seeds can begin to descend from your oversoul, your star family, come down through your light body, which goes from your oversoul to the crown of your head into your aura. And sometimes you might feel your crown chakra open up, right? You might feel the chicken skin. You might feel chills. You might feel something going on in your third eye. You might feel something in your sacral chakra. You might feel a Kundalini rush. In those moments is when those codes and keys are becoming activated. And all we have to do is pay attention and give our sacred yes.
Giving the sacred yes. That is, I mean, saying yes to that. Um, Understanding the intuition. When we have these experiences and we might think we're crazy, or we might think that we're just making it up. Help us understand how we can truly trust that. And isn't it amazing that we trust our doubt way more than what we're getting in our
We
intuition?
do. So there is a big difference between going into, an ego identification and knowing our truth. And the difference can be very subtle. It can be very hard to discern. Um, because most of us are told that we shouldn't claim our greatness, that we should be humble, right? That we should stay small. And at the same time, we recognize, our soul recognizes that we're here to do something bigger and greater than maybe what we're experiencing. So how I know something is true for me, it's really coming from my soul or my soul family and not coming from ego, is that when it sinks in, when it drops in, there's a feeling and a recognition of peace, of harmony, and I do feel a sense of humility accepting it in, and the same time knowing that humility is a path, the pathway to stepping into our greatness, because it's not about me. It's about what I can do for the collective. It's about how I take these gifts and these knowingness and how I allow them to express through me. We are antennas of light. We are vibrational activators. We are absorbers of frequencies, and we are also antennas, senders of frequencies. So if I truly want to embody the mission of the Mer people without ego, it's how do I allow the greatness of the heart of the Mer to flow through me as love, as compassion, as personal power that is something that is a light and a ripple effect for other people to see.
Okay, you have me thinking here, feeling into it. So we see so many, and lately, okay, so you mentioned the Pleiadians, and I know many
Yes,
of us, we can look at our charts and we can see any 26 and 27 degrees in our charts. Those are actual codes that we've
right.
learned, that those are our star lineage, okay? When we feel deep reverence or a resonance with the Arcturians, for example,
Hmm.
then we have to go deeper in that. So it's interesting because I feel very connected to the Arcturians, and I know
Hmm.
many others do. So what do we do with that?
Well, there's things you can do on a very like 3D level. For instance, you can start exploring on the internet the mythology of the Arcturians. What do they look like? What do they do? What kind of energy do they carry? And find out, just because there's many people there who have experienced Arcturian energy, who maybe channel them or written about them. And if it feels in resonance with you, then that's a very good practical way to set it up. The other thing that you can do is go on some kind of a shamanic journey. or a regression or another lifetime and go into that realm of reality because all lifetimes are happening at once, right? So really it's a simultaneous stepping into the knowledge of your soul and find out what your soul has to share with you. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are Arcturian, or maybe you're going to get the message. I have a lot of people who get a message, well, I feel like I'm this or I'm that, and they go into the direct knowledge of their soul, and their soul brings them the message and speaks to them and directs them in the direction. They're not wrong about the Arcturian. It's like there's that, but there's actually this that is stronger for you. There's actually this energy coming in. Also, this is an adjunct and this is nice. This was the awakening piece, but this is the piece right here that's going to amplify your soul mission and purpose and bring you more home to yourself. So we can utilize all these different kinds of tools. I think the most important thing is to have fun and explore. We take it too seriously. This is supposed to be fun. This is an experience that we can have where I'm going to just try out a little bit of this and I'm going to explore a little bit of that. We are explorers, we are creators, and it doesn't have to be this big, like dramatic, like, am I going to get it right type of experience. Have fun and step into the shoes of that Arcturian being. Does that energy fit? Does it feel good? If not, step into the energy of this being. Does that fit? Does that feel good? Yes or no? And it kind of builds from there.
Ah, so this is an inward journey to feel into those connections.
Feel into those connections. Now, there's another very important point I would like to make in discernment when we feel and merge with other energies. Okay. You want to ask only for energies that are your vibration or higher, that are alignment with your soul and soul purpose. Sometimes when we're out there exploring and not really using our discernment, we can bring in other beings who maybe are in disguise or lower vibrational or a little bit of a trickster to test us out. And so when I work in the etheric with my clients, we always set a standard, like we set the boundary of highest love and light, the highest, truest God wisdom, God experience, white light. Only those beings that are for this being's truly highest and benevolent may come forward. When you speak that out into the ethers, everybody else has to kind of pack up and go away.
Very
It's intention. It's intention.
all right. So, you offer personal sessions to assist your clients in
Yes.
working with their oversoul, understanding their spiritual lineages, and all of that. And so, so for anyone who wants to know more about who their star family is, this is a
Hmm.
perfect session with you. What
Yes.
do you do in the sessions? What does that look like? How does it work? It's a little bit of hypnosis. I remember
It,
that.
it is some trance, some hypnosis. So if for anybody out there who's new to trance or hypnosis, it's not like you see in the movies where I have you asleep and you're quacking like a duck. Like it doesn't work like that. Hypnosis or trance is just gives you the ability to be in this dimension, in this reality, but also access another intended reality. You have what's called dual awareness. Are you aware of me, the sound of my voice, everything going on in the room, yet at the same time, you have access to this information that you wouldn't normally have in your walking around state. So we do this little induction to set our intention and to get you into that space where the images in your mind's eye, the seeing, the hearing, the sensing, however you access can come to life. And I'm very good at getting people to trust themselves because the biggest bridge that people who are new to this work want to cross is, am I making this up? Right? So I'm very good at setting up the experience so that you know you can and how to trust yourself and how to trust what you are seeing, hearing, and feeling as we go into the wisdom of your oversoul.
I love it. And I do have to, we're going to talk a little bit more about what goes on in those sessions, but I just want to share when I did a session with you, you were really good at allowing me to see that and to trust it. And it was really wild because there was someone reflecting in my life that was simply reflecting an aspect of myself. It was me.
Right.
It was me, and it was amazing. So again, what I did with that, it just felt more in control. I don't need to be more in control, but there was a deeper understanding that I could sense of why things were happening.
Yes.
It's all in a journey for self-love.
Yeah,
So
and control's a good word. What I really want is to give my clients autonomy and sovereignty.
sovereignty, that's it, and
Yes.
autonomy. Yeah, and to know that everything is happening for a reason. There's no coincidences, right?
Right. Yes, I set the container, the sacred container. We lean into it together, but this gets to be your experience from your soul. Sometimes I go in with the assist and clarification and ask open-ended questions like, would you consider this, or does it feel a little bit more like this or like this to help people along? But overall, it is a journey between you and your other aspect, or you and your other soul, your oversoul, in order to bring in that wisdom, those keys, that those codes, those knowledge, or maybe even to help you make an important decision. Oftentimes, I help my clients make big decisions in their lives. And the information of which path they're going to take comes from their oversoul to them. Then you, with your free will, you ultimately get to decide.
And so you're saying oversoul. We can also call this higher self.
Higher self would be a great another word.
And once one recognizes the energy or the information or the message from the higher self, there's really no going back, is there? I mean,
There's
that's
no going back. And one of the techniques I like to use when you are really in communication with your higher self or your oversoul, or perhaps you've tapped into like a predominant guide or guardian, someone who's with you, is I ask them to give your body a message or a sign of what it's like when they are near you or what it's like when they are communicating with you. A lot of times people will feel, a brush on the shoulder, or they'll feel something happening in their temple, or some kind of palpable body experience that ripples through them. They're like, okay, this is my person, or this is my message, this is my guide right here.
yeah, it's so powerful. It really is. And what I noticed is that because that connection is made, and you do a beautiful job facilitating that. But when that connection is made, we could be in another moment in our life, in
Yes.
a moment of despair or a moment of challenge, and we can hear that voice.
Right. Or feel it
Or,
or sense it.
yeah.
Another thing really important to share with people is not everybody gets little pictures in their head.
Mhm.
Not everybody sees. I don't see anything when I regress. I feel and sense it. So helping people to tap into all of their clairs, or the way that their body takes on or feels or absorbs the messages, rather than like seeing little pictures. If you get that, that's great. That's definitely like probably one of the easiest ways to get your have the little visuals. But a lot of us don't have that. We have to rely really on our intuition and really on our other senses to feel like we're connected. So I'm very good at helping people kind of discern that for themselves as well.
That is again really powerful work that you're doing. It's a homecoming for each person who does a session with you. And I love the fact that when this connection is made, it taps us into soul purpose.
Yes.
That that is probably the number one question that people who
It
awake.
is. It is. And people often want to hear something really significant and tangible of what their sole purpose is. It's like, what am I here to do? How am I to act out literally in the world? And some of us do have those missions, but more and more, I am finding people, our mission here is to be an energetic, hold a certain energetic frequency. Some of us are here to hold an energetic frequency of the Arcturians and to allow that to express through us. It may or may not turn into a job, a literal job. It might though. Some of you are here to hold the essence of the mer people, to hold that love frequency, to hold that divine feminine, and allow that to express an antenna through you as the predominantly frequency that you broadcast. And there's no job that is bigger or smaller than anybody's. Nothing I'm doing and nothing you're doing is more important than that being who takes on that frequency, that Palladian mission, that Palladian energy, and allows them to vibrate and be an antenna for that on this planet to help step us into the new earth. It really takes all of us to fit this puzzle piece together.
Ah, yes. And so when we do this, when we endeavor to make these connections with the oversoul, like you were saying earlier, um, there's our multidimensionality is opening for us. And this is connected to our DNA. And you call it spiritual DNA. This would be
Yes.
called the dormant DNA. And that's when those gifts open up. Can you elaborate on this?
I think that's a good way to put it. You know, scientists say we have this dormant DNA, and it's really our spiritual DNA. It is those rods of energy, those lines, those helixes of energy that are there, and they are simply waiting for your time lock to go off in order to open up and to expand. And when those time locks start going off, when those DNA strands start lighting up, you know it, you feel it head to toe.
Mhm. So the time locks, can we accelerate the unlocking of those time locks? Can we, or do we just have to wait in time? Do
Oh,
we have,
good question. Good
yeah.
question. I think we could accelerate it by, well, for one thing, we'll go back to karma and karmic contracts by clearing out those karmic contracts, clearing out those lower chakra energies, connecting to the earth, and really stepping into our kuleana, our responsibility that we've created with the other humans around us, because that cannot be denied. And on the path to do that, even though sometimes it can be very difficult and painful, but there is beauty in that. And there is grace and there is learning and there is growth in that. And where there is beauty and learning and growth, there is automatically going to be that acceleration and that opening of our spiritual DNA because you're clearing out energy to bring in new energy. It's an energy out before energy in. So it's both. We can actually actively participate. You can pray, you can meditate, you can do all the things. You can simply just give your sacred yes to having, you know, the next echelon or next acceleration of whatever is supposed to come in with you and help with your DNA. And then we can also have those spontaneous moments, which they happen to us more than people think. We're just not always aware, paying attention, or we disregard it, right? Those spontaneous moments, I think, happen all the time.
And those spontaneous moments, my gosh, I want to just say it's that feeling. So it's like when our heart opens and we just want to cry. Those
Yes.
are spontaneous moments, right? So this shows us the power of doing this work. The inner
Yeah.
work is really extremely important. So thank you for that. And one other thing that you said is that it's our aura that is holding the information that is delivered from the oversoul.
Yes.
What do we need to do to prepare our aura? Is there any, and is our chakras related to that as well? Anything that you can share on preparation for that?
Yes. People, you know, most people don't realize how important their auric field is. Like your aura is literally the container of your energy and your frequency. It's that bubble of light that is above your head, below your feet, front to back, side to side. Some of us are very extroverted and have very, very big auras. Some of us are more introverted and our aura is a little bit closer to us. When we're real happy, our aura pops out. big and wide. When we're not so happy, it might come in because it gives us this feeling of protection. But your aura is the container for your sacred space. We do not get to control much in life. But we do get to have dominion over our energy. We do get to have dominion over our aura or our sacred space. So recognizing where your aura is around you, and I help with that also, and placing maybe white light around it, actually placing a container of light around your energy field, because let's face it, most of us are empaths. We absorb, right? We're actually not supposed to be absorbing, we're supposed to be emitting. We are
Mm.
supposed to be emitting our frequency and not taking on any lower vibrational energies and absorbing them into our energy field, which is what we do with our loved ones or just out in life in general. You know, you walk into a grocery store and the lights are bright and people are worried about money and they're trying to feed their families, and all of a sudden your aura just kind of comes in. You're like, why do I feel so weird? Right? We've all had that experience where energetically we just suddenly we don't feel well. Maybe you get a headache. Maybe you got to come home and lie down. You're because we've taken on the energetics and the emotions from your environment that do not belong to you. And suddenly your sacred space has become violated. You don't feel well. So what do you do about that? I also teach people in my sessions to go in. Not only do I clear energy and aura, but I teach people to do it for themselves. And I teach my clients how not to pick up those energies as easily through opening up and recognizing where their aura is around them and putting some white light boundary, raising your frequency through the gold ray or whatever ray you like, and doing this energetic cleansing, this energetic hygiene is just as important as going to the gym or changing your underwear. You know, it is energetic hygiene when your energy is good and set, when you have good, clear boundaries between what is yours and what is not yours, when you have that conscious realization because of the work you're doing in your energy field, you're number one, going to feel better. Okay, you're going to feel happy. You're going to feel most people don't even know what it's like to feel like themselves because they're absorbing everything from their environment all the time. Or they've been in relationships that are toxic and abusive, and their energy field is just, full of holes, full of rips and tears. And people don't understand like energy leaks happening. Energy leaks happen to every single one of us. Or repair, or a fortification, or a clearing and cleanliness is something we can all do on a daily basis and should do because we are all, septic in some way to some kind of energy violation or the dimming of our own personal frequency.
And that program to do that seems like it is on high in our planet right now. Like there's
Yes,
definitely something. And it's we could say it's the media, but it's all of it. It's politics, it's the
it's
media,
everything.
it's everything. It's
Yes,
raising
it's
prices.
all big distractions. And fear, yeah. And fear is one of the greatest violators of your sacred space.
Wow. Okay, let's let that soak in for all of us because, again, I think a lot of people, with the state of our world, subconsciously, many people are going to fear.
Yeah,
And so there's
sure.
good
And how
reason.
can you not? It's
How,
very hard not to.
because there's so many personal issues. Like most of us, do not like war. We're just
Right.
like, hell no, no more. But
Yeah.
yet, here it is, and that can rile us.
Yes.
What is causing us to get riled? Bottom line, it's fear
Sure. Yep.
or lack of control.
Yep.
All comes back to fear.
Yes.
So
And I think, Loren, I think that one thing I'm noticing in myself is I really, I think that most of us who do this work are like, why are we still doing this? Haven't
hello,
we gotten,
hello,
how is this still happening after all the years we've been here, like doing new earth work
but it's
and
close,
healing the planet?
and there's so much
That's
that
my
we're involved.
frustration. And that is the fear that I have to like move out of my field of of that despair and that anger and that hopelessness of this again.
Or
And that's
sometimes
just me being human. It's just me being real.
it feels like we're going backwards in so many ways. But yet, when I look into that, I mean, we can look at many, 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 many markers in our world and say we're
Yes.
going backwards in our personal lives, on a political scene, on a global scene, even on little things, technology. Well, technology is a different thing, but I just want to do a little example. Like there were little things like PayPal, for example, that did things, but now they're doing things that make you go backwards, like reporting to the IRS, that sort
Yeah.
of thing. That just seems like it's going backwards. But when I look at that, I'd like your take on it. Why are we going back so that we can pick up the good pieces and embody it? What's your take on it?
Backwards to go forwards.
Yeah, that's that phrase.
It's the lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. And I think that as a collective, perhaps we have decided to revisit these programs to create a different, higher response and outcome.
So as we are here to bring on new earth, wow, what is it going to take? I just want your thoughts on that. I mean, I do not want the whole world to crumble, and I do not think that it will. I think that what we're seeing is like the last remnants,
Yeah.
the last remnants of stuff coming up to be revealed by all the light. What is your take on all of this?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is true. I think that we are revisiting the last heaving, dying remnants of patriarchy, trying to continue to survive, trying to continue to stay alive. And in every moment as these things happen on Earth again and again and again, we're given an opportunity for a different response to create a different outcome. This is Atlantis. This is the spiral of Atlantis that is being rewritten right now to exalt the Atlantean timelines to match them with the Lemurian timelines. Okay, we create a new outcome only through a different response. You can't keep doing the
Okay.
same thing over and over again and expect a different response. You have to create a new paradigm. We have to build the new bridge as the old bridge is crumbling. Okay, so the attention and again, there's many different timelines and things that are so many different timelines out there, so many different realities and outcomes that are possible. Which one are you going to continue to believe in? Which one are you going to place your soul upon?
I'm taking the love train. Who
Yeah,
else
you
is
you
taking the love
know, we got and
piece?
if it's true, which I don't think it is, that you know that the outcome or this experience, this is Atlantic experience is going to end and the world's going to go away. We're eternal, okay? We are eternal beings. That the important thing for everyone to remember is that there is no death. We are in the sixth Atlantean experiment, rewriting and course correcting the last fall of Atlantis, which I do believe will be successful. I have to believe that. Otherwise, why am I here, right?
And that's the same for all of us. I believe that this audience, people watching, even if they just tuned in recently, that they're all Lemurian and Atlantean,
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
other or
Oh,
both,
oh, or both.
or both.
The Mer have a very big part in seeing those who have departed this planet to the other side.
Uh-huh.
We are the messengers, we are the escorts for those who are departing the planet. And that doesn't matter if it's from the sea, from the air, from however, we are escorting them over to the other side. That is a very big mission of the Mer people right now. We are holding back the waves and the waters. There was supposed to have been through the unnatural natural disasters, much more damage than has happened on this planet. And it is the Mer holding the grids together, holding the waters, the winds back. and allowing this planet to go on and keep moving forward into the new Earth timelines with as minimal damage as possible.
Thank you for that. Thanks to all the mer people. And I would love for the mermaids to show themselves. And so I'm going to share a little story. I think maybe I shared this with you before, but in Costa Rica, there is a right down the street, probably 45 minutes down the street, there's a statue of a mermaid. And it was commissioned by a man who, simple man, who is a fisherman. And he was out there 50 years ago now, and he saw a mermaid, a live mermaid. And he was so enamored and so stunned and like mesmerized by this mermaid, he committed his life to saving his money and commissioning this statue. It's a bronze statue,
Wow.
and it's a sirena, a mermaid. And so, you know, that you would think that that's just all woo woo, but for that kind of a story, and the man is still alive. I will interview him. For when he, say that's not just a make believe.
Right?
Doesn't that story like really hit home? If someone is dedicating their life to that, there's got to be truth behind it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that there are many, many people who have seen the Mer. The Mer have shown themselves to them. One of the biggest reasons that they don't do that to the collective is, what would happen? You would have every
Like the
we are
Sasquatch.
already hunted. The Mer are already hunted.
They'd be
There would be a mass frenzy out in the waters to find us. Some would come for benevolent reasons, some would not. So for that reason, we cannot.
we need to raise the frequency on this planet, and then we'll
Yes.
see the unicorns as well.
Yes.
And the dragons are already present, even though we
Yeah.
feel them. And so, thank you for sharing the Mer energy with us. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the Mer people and the time on our planet right now?
Uh, the Mer would like you to know that although you can't see us with your eyes, you feel us in your soul and with your heart. And many of you listening have a Mer soul or a dolphin soul, and you resonate with that, and you know that you belong to this community. And whether you recognize yourself as a mer or a dolphin being or not, it is very important that you all know that we are here with you. We love you. We came to be here and to stay for humanity, just as we came to Atlantis to be with the Atlantis for humanity. We have always been, we will always be, and we will see you on the other side.
So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, your special offer, I want to chat just a moment. We did talk a little bit about it. It helps people open their spiritual DNA, connect to their higher self, their oversoul, their soul's mission. Is there anything else you'd like to say about how these sessions truly assist those who register for them?
These sessions will allow you a deeper embodiment of your spiritual DNA, of your star family, and of that part of you that you know is divine. And when you bring that divine merger, heaven to earth, and really embody that that divine being, you know that you are here to be and that is here to assist you on your journey. All it does is elevate your frequency. You automatically become a ripple effect for others who want to believe as well. And it will guide you deeper into opening up your spiritual DNA and accepting those codes and keys more freely and activate that connection. We all want to feel connected to our higher self, right? we want to be walking around feeling that channel open, and that this is a good practice. It's a good like really leaning into a really being again in that embodiment of that version of you that holds the wisdom of your soul.
Yeah, that is really the name of the game and the work at hand on our evolution as humans. So again, I did want to say one more time, my session with you was extraordinary, so beneficial, very important at my time, and I just thank you for that. And I think everyone will enjoy personal one-on-one time with Ameera. It's
Yeah.
really incredible. You're going to meet your higher self. You'll feel, see, sense, or hear that energy. And to me, Ameera, if that's all we do is connect someone to their higher self, good on us. Good
Yeah,
on us.
I thought about doing a group class, but this work is so individual and
Mhm.
it's so personal. And this allows me to, to get in there really in the deep waters with you personally, and again, be your escort into these realms.
Let the mermaid, beautiful Ameera, escort you to these realms of your multidimensionality to meet your oversoul, your higher self, and get on your soul's purpose. Awesome. So that is available, and the price for that is it's equal to body work that you would get, acupuncture or a massage. And so this is so transformational as well. It will walk with you through your life. It'll always be there for you. You'll never forget it. And then there's something very special for those who want to taste a little of an aura clearing and alignment. You've got a meditation, and that's a beautiful offering too. Tell us how we work with that and what we can expect from it.
I designed this meditation for people at every level of experience when it comes to energy work or tapping into their aura. If you are brand new to aura work and really just want to learn how to discern, how to figure out where your aura is around you on a daily basis, to open up, to clear it, to cleanse it, to bring in the different rays, it's about 17 minutes of the sound of my voice walking you through this beautiful visualization and meditation that you can do on a daily basis with my meditation or learn these techniques for yourself. It's very important to me to give people tools to do things when no one else is around, or do things, when you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you just need to give yourself a vibrational boost, or you need to, you've come out of the grocery store, do you feel not very good? And now you've got some tools, some knowledge to call in the gold ray into your aura and just like move all that energy out. So again, you can return to the wholeness of yourself and the joy of yourself.
Return to the wholeness and joy of yourself. Ameera Atlantis, thank you so much for this. I want to direct everyone to the page that got you here. You can find those details, click on those links and check it out. It's a beautiful opportunity to do this inner work, life-changing inner work, and to have that tool that will definitely assist you in all winds that may buffet us left and right, upside down, topsy-turvy. We've got this, everyone. And this is why no matter what happens in our world, no matter how we can get challenged by what we see, these tools, this is the pathway. It's a pathway home to your higher self. Do you want to add anything about that, Ameera? Because it's trying out there, but it doesn't have to be.
Well, I think you're right. It's trying out there. And if we can find remedies and we can find solutions and we can find those moments where we feel just that ultimate peace and joy and settled and at home in our bodies, there's an opportunity for that. It's a good idea to take it.
And remember that our reality, right now, we're all in each other's reality bubble. As you're watching this, Ameera and I are bumping reality bubbles. But as this video ends and we each go back to our life, we're in our reality bubble.
Yeah.
What are we bringing in our reality bubble? Let's bring more of ourself, more of our higher self, more of our joy,
Mm.
and really be immaculate with that energy in our own reality bubble.
Mm. Beautifully said.
Thank you, Ameera. Wow, this has been beautiful. And again, we invite everyone to check out your special offer. If you're watching us on Zoom, there's a link in the description box. It'll get you to the beautiful offers, and they await you. They're exclusive just for you. And it's such a beautiful opportunity to take these deep dives in your soul.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you for allowing me to express myself.
Thank you for expressing yourself and showing us how we can express ourselves too. Thank you, Ameera. Bye. Thank you, everyone. We love you. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.